to claim your birthright. Just waiting for you to claim your birthright. Just because it's yours. And only you could claim it. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can sell you some papers to say, here's your birthright. Because it's yours. Yeah, even you, European, even you. It's yours too. Right? Just go check your last name, family crest, and you're going to see that there's a Moor's head on your family European name crest. Or there's a knight's helmet. Or there's a crescent moon. Or a star. Or, you know, people with heads getting cut off and wearing turbans and stuff like that. On the family crest in Europe. Just so you'll never, ever, ever, ever forget. You'll never forget who mother is. Never. You can accept it if you want and get back down with what's going on. You know, if you need a European as a reference, go talk to Rick Smith. So you can just go on YouTube, right, and look up Rick Smith, right? European Confessions of a Moorish Legacy. Just go watch that. And let that European tell you about some Moors. And Islam to Rick Smith too. Right? It's real serious right now. So Noble Drew Ali told the Moors to be read in every meeting. And then obviously, you know, those weren't getting read, so here we are having class about letter that was supposed to be read every meeting since 1929 that nobody read. I hereby inform all members that they must put an end to all radical and agitating speeches while on their jobs, homes, or on the public streets. We advocate peace and not destruction. Stop trying out your cards with the Europeans, for it causes confusion. There has been much confusion caused by members trying out their cards. The cards are for your salvation. Failure of obeying my orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members that seek to hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or to violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors, so obviously there's fake Moors, all true Moors must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. And if they lose confidence in their prophet, give up your card and button, cease wearing your turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. All right, laying it all out for everybody. The prophet is sending out a divine plea to all true Moorish Americans, so there's fake Moorish Americans during the prophet's time, that they may do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. Protecting their prophet and the temple. You say Grand Major or 85th Temple or 79th Temple or Great Grand Temple of whatever. Said the temple. The temple. So don't get caught up that, you know, you have to be down with that to be exercising your birthright. Because you're Moorish American because we're descendants of Moroccans born in America. Period. So if we're descendants of Moroccans born in America, then we're Moorish American. Moroccan American. That's just what we are. Right? This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Drew Ali. Right? Islam. Right? Noble Drew Ali. So then, in 1929 again, there's another letter. The first one wasn't enough, because obviously people weren't hearing what the Prophet said. People want to do their own thing. So he said another letter now, to be read again every meeting since 1929. And forget people that aren't even mentally connected to the Moorish movement yet. For all the people who are gravitating toward Noble Drew Ali and Moroccan flags and, and something's going on, you realize something, right? Know that people purposely didn't tell you. If it's 2014, you're just finding out about this, right? That's the conspiracy. The conspiracy is that people's had this information and they haven't given it to you. They haven't given it to me. They haven't given it to whoever. And one individual came and said, hey, you know what? Proclaim your nationality. And then he told you what your nationality is, so you don't have to play no games with anybody. But all these other people now, they're not telling you to proclaim a nationality. Name me one person, other than Noble Drew Ali, that told you to proclaim a nationality, and not only proclaim it, but validated proof of how you're connected to the nationality that he's telling you to claim since 1913. And everybody's tight-lipped because there's a letter that you don't know about. Remember, we're not even talking about people who aren't on this. We're talking about people who are only on this information, right? They don't even know about a letter that Noble Drew Ali wrote, much less know about Noble Drew Ali because somebody's always pushing some sovereignty, European ideal with Asiatics and messing up people's psyche, right? Like what Tallahassee says, right? Have you taken some European idea, I'm sovereign, and having that in your mind is scrambling your brain. You're frying yourself because that's not what your mentality is supposed to be on. Why do you think our people are doing crazy stuff? Shoot their brother and, police is right there and he kicks somebody's ass but they don't shoot him. What? So you just shot this guy because he was on your turf for some whatever, right? But then this guy that's right here, that kicking this guy's ass, and you talk about camera and watch something?
Sorry, I'm missing the reference
Like,
here. So you're saying some guy shoots some guy on on a separate thing.
right.
There's another guy beating someone.
There's an officer,
Okay,
somebody who is so-called law enforcement,
beating someone.
beating somebody,
Right.
and they're gonna watch that. They're not gonna shoot at that, but they're gonna shoot at because their mentality has been hybridized. They're thinking like a hybrid. And Noble Drew Ali even came and said, "Yo, give Christianity back to the Europeans. We're not hating on it. We're just saying, yo, that's their stuff. Why are you messing with Christianity and Buddhism and Taoism and all these things when all those things are more science? Why don't you just claim to be more then? Instead of messing around and dabbling and stuff that has no reference point."
I was listening to that Oshenko CD and realizing, well, I mean, we've already talked about this, that it's, I think it's just the amount of not indoctrination, but training, false education that has continued down the pipe.
How come? Because people didn't tell their children about Noble Drew Ali. Because, that's how big the sellout was.
Yeah, but the reference point for the average unawakened Moor, they don't have a reference point.
Exactly.
So the problem is
that's why it's only 144,000 and those type of talks in the scriptures. Because, look back and turn to salt.
Look back, what?
Right, look back and turn to salt, and everybody's looking back.
Yeah.
You didn't hear what the order was? All right, well then you turn to salt then. Like what are we gonna do? Sit here waiting for something? You're salt.
Yeah.
So let's go. right? Realize that, hey, you know, we know everything. We studied all these whatever, and nobody ever mentioned Noble Drew Ali. And if they mention them, they say, oh yeah, Noble Drew Ali, and then they go over here talking about something. There's not no worshiping a man. You know what I mean? Because he was an individual. It's about what he brought to us. It's about what he presented, not him. Yeah, nothing to do with him. He even said, I'm gonna go to the soul plane and get this work done because y'all, I'm gonna waste my time around you guys for. I already laid down what's supposed to be laid down. Right? Like letter to be proclaimed every meeting that nobody doesn't hear about. How come? How come you don't hear about the letter? Right?
Thinking about another thing today, and one of those letters tells you to not try your cards out on these Europeans. I realize I think that for myself, I still feel a little far off because I realize I think there's some positive connection to the cards
Right.
that we've made or that are there.
Yeah.
But I also think that we're missing, I feel for me, speaking from the eye, that I'm missing the point because the card is for our salvation.
Right.
It's not for anyone else's.
Right.
So really, like you say, it's not that you know, going out there, you know, like so, like even so, like I'm there on the tax stuff, but even some of that stuff, like we're still caught up. Like what happened with us,
Yeah.
we're still caught up in the matrix.
Yeah.
It's going to take almost a more advanced.
To be proclaimed every meeting, right? Islam. I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all. Right? That's the opening statement. I'm glad to know I have a few of you guys.
Well, what
So what happens to everybody? By this time, what happens to everybody? Because if he's saying, I'm glad to know I have a few, that means he had many.
No, that's exactly what I was getting to. The point being that somewhere in there was a lot more.
Way more than few.
And then the next sort of describing word there is faithful.
Right.
That to me is that to me is the one that needs to be underlined, right?
Right. I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. Right. We're not even going to go into that. Right. Look at what this man's talking about. That there's a truth and then there's a divine truth. And this is just a letter that man was just supposed to come read to everybody so everybody knows what the prophet laid down. And nobody had access. Right? Nobody had access. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth, right? Who talks like that? Right? He's telling people that they know what's up already. Right? That's the story today. They know what's up. And if we want to pretend like we still have to try to do stuff, like we you know what I mean? Like we realize that okay, yeah, we got compromised, but there was a higher thing going on in order for us to get compromised. So the compromise wasn't really a compromise; it was actually a block. You know what I'm saying? So we don't
compromise. The compromise was the actual path that we needed to take.
Right.
Right. And we were actually wrong.
Right, exactly. And
it was yet again the higher power telling us where to go.
Which goes back to the thing with the nationality card.
Yeah.
That you don't show off nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Because really, like, the vibration wasn't like we were niggers.
No.
That wasn't their approach with us.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, but you know, it wasn't anything overboard. But it wasn't like the average, like the guy who they brought through just.
Yeah, that was it.
Right?
Yeah.
No talks, no nothing. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. Right? There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens. So, just because this said Asiatics, I just remembered something that happened today, right? So this girl speaks Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm doing research, I was reading a book, and she's like, what are you reading? I'm like, I'm reading about Occidental and Oriental. She's like, oh, Afrique Oriental.
Mm-hmm.
Afrique Oriental.
Just
Talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Oriental, like China or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's like, no, in Portuguese, Oriental is East.
Hmm.
And she was talking about East Africa,
Hmm.
being referred to as the Orient in her language,
Wow.
right?
Hmm.
Asiatics.
Right.
Which is what the man came and told everybody, but everybody playing around like, well, he's not talking, he's talking with Chinese
can't be
people.
an
And,
Asiatic.
yeah, I can't be an Asiatic. I'm not Asian. I'm African. What are you talking about? Right? They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. Not no divine respect to these grand sheiks or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And people who you guys watch on YouTube doing lectures.
Mm-hmm. It's to him.
To him. Because nobody wouldn't be doing no lectures or whatever like that if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he opened the door even for black stuff to get through.
Yeah, yeah.
And people be able to be black. It's because of the prophet. Because he opened the floodgates.
Yeah. Well, the black
Right.
was a diversion. Again.
Exactly right. It was a
But
diversion,
it was
but
a diversion
still,
from the main.
it was a diversion from the main point.
Right.
You know, I need finance and I need it badly. And then people are going to use that quote, you know what I mean? Say, oh yeah, slander him. You know.
He's a money grabber.
He's a
right?
money
He's
grabber.
that,
He's asking for finance. You know, why is he asking for finance? And, you know, if it's about uplifting the people or whatever. But then he's got, 1,500 for a package on his website. Talking
exactly,
about no
right.
withdrawal leave.
Mhm.
Why is he asking for finance?
But if you read it, he doesn't actually question. He doesn't say it in a question. Will you-
Right.
He doesn't say, "Can you give me money? Will you give me money? When you gonna give me the money?"
Right.
He's, hey, brother, I'm in need of
I need it,
finances
like-
too, bro.
right?
We know we're working for.
Right? I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. Now this is 1929, so this is before he died, right? Few months, right? Which, few months, it's panic time right now. By the way he's talking in this,
Yeah.
it's panic time right now. Like, I need finance and I need it badly. Between 1913 and 1929, like we were reading in the Moorish Guide stuff, they had manufacturing companies and stuff like that. How is he talking about he needs finance when they had manufacturing companies and stuff like that? Obviously somebody wasn't doing what they're supposed to do, because everything was already
Supposed to be in order.
ready, in order. All you gotta do is just slide into a spot with whatever expertise that you have and build a nation. Because there's already businesses and whatever like that, so those people that's on their job, their children are going to work there.
Yeah,
You're not going to work in no McDonald's or nothing like that. You're going to work in no Foot Locker.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're going to come work for our businesses.
Yeah, but you're saying obviously something's gone wrong with this people.
By this point, panic time. Man's putting out a letter, be ready every meeting. that he's expecting them to listen to his word as the prophet and read it every meeting. And they didn't read it. You know what kind of violation that is? And they're talking about people violated because they say shit and because they smoke a blunt or because they drink a beer or what, that's violated. But these guys never read this letter for 80 years or whatever. Oh, they never violated nothing. They're the supreme whatever. We need to listen to them.
Is that the fourth edition dictionary on the bottom
Yeah.
there? I wanted to look up finance. Can I change the pages or?
Yeah. Right? It all comes through jealousy. because of my fame and nobility. Right? Fame and nobility, that's not small talk.
Yeah.
That's not black guy soapbox people talks. Fame and nobility.
Mobility.
And people laugh this man out the place. Don't even mention him. Except Farrakhan, big up yourself, you know. I see them put the
He went and saved
Savior's Day.
himself, eh?
Yeah,
He went and put
Savior's
it up
Day.
real quick.
He had the big banner with Noble Drew Ali on it.
What was this?
For Savior, when the hell was it? I can't remember. Savior's Day 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Drew Ali was on there.
Savior's Day, eh?
Yeah. So he put him up there, you know. He didn't say nothing about him, but he put his picture was there. You know? We'll give him a little for the picture, you know. Yeah. Scratch a little. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. Right? So you can do whatever, say whatever. You guys can follow these idiots selling you guys packages for 1,500, right?
Yeah.
When Noble Drew Ali said, if he's not in the head, that thing not going nowhere.
Yeah,
Sinking ship.
Yeah.
Leave that sinking ship alone,
Yeah,
yo.
don't even get on that.
Don't even get on that boat,
Don't look at it.
right? Are you gonna get on a boat when you could stand on the land? And an idiot thing is that,
Boat's gonna sink.
right? It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the last few years. You know what I mean? So he even said himself in the end that whatever I did before was nothing. The last few years, I put in work for y'all. I put in work. And if I put in so much work, I should be able to see you get something.
Yeah.
I'm not putting all this work for you guys not to get nothing. To be talking about, like, how do we get across the border and taxes and, we need this form to get the debate of the, like, right? Because man came and did everything, set up everything, and all these punks dropped the ball. All these guys. Fly ball, drop. Lose the World Series. Have mafia after you and stuff like that. Those are the drop balls that these men drop. Right? The big game drop balls. So we're just gonna show, right? Just couple. Because there's a big list, right? all these people who relinquishing their U.S. citizenship, right?
Okay, let's see.
And they're saying straight, whatever, right?
There was one, who's the singer? She went to Switzerland or something?
Yeah, all of them are.
Some
Everybody's
singer.
jumping ship right now.
The old Aretha, or one of those
Yeah, one of them
Patti
was,
LaBelle,
yeah,
one of those
yeah.
old ladies.
Yeah.
So these are people jumping ship now?
Yeah, they're jumping off the U.S. ship. Right? Tom Alter, actor. Oh yeah, I look up Jus Sanguinis. Jus Sanguinis. After moving to Bombay to pursue a Bollywood career, he renounced his U.S. citizenship and naturalized as an Indian citizen to demonstrate his commitment to the country and gain acceptance amongst fans. Right?
He left here. He left the
Yeah,
machine America.
They left the machine.
And he went to Hindustan.
right? And naturalized.
Mm-hmm.
Naturalized over there.
Yeah.
You found it?
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to write?
Yeah. Just sanguinis.
The right of blood to just soil, which I guess would be the opposite, right? So it's the right of blood,
Right. Right? So just sanguinis, the right of blood.
just solely. The law of the place of one's birth as contrasted, the law of the place of one's birth as contrasted with just sanguinis, the law of the place of one's descent or parentage. It is of feudal origin. That is
Just solely is of feudal origin, right? Which is popes and
Right.
the crew,
Right.
right?
Just sanguinis.
So
the
just
right of blood.
sanguinis is blood,
The right of blood.
right? So the Moors have the blood, right? So we're national. He naturalized.
Who's this?
Tom Alter,
Okay.
some actor, right? He naturalized into the Indian
Mm-hmm.
citizenry, you know what I mean, and
Sovereignty.
continue to, yeah, he gets some of Indians' sovereignty.
Right.
Once he follows all the rules there, blah blah blah, which is the same thing that the Moroccan Empire was about,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you come here, no problem, but just make sure that you follow what's up,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody be happy, and we could, whatever. But people drop the ball. Always dropping the ball, right? Kevin Andrews, just sanguinis. After graduating from Harvard University in 1947, moved to Greece to pursue archaeological studies and renounced his U.S. citizenship to naturalize as a Greek citizen.
Really.
Right?
He went to Harvard, so he's
So he
in
knows,
that circle.
yeah,
He
he's in
knows
the
a little
circle,
something.
and he took off.
And that was in the 47?
47. Went to Harvard in 47. Debitu Arudu, Arudou, activist, born David Christopher